And Insurgency as a game mode can simply be explained by having a look at a map. You get red squares when you start, and as you clear each square of hostiles, then it goes green. And as the square goes green, they cannot retake it, they can't capture it, and they won't spawn any enemies in that area. And they usually spawn in buildings. So most squares have buildings in them. At the same time, we have hostiles that we're supposed to kill. And there's a random chance that they will drop intel, which points us towards ammo cache location. So here we have a 550 marker, and that means that in a radius 550 meters there will be an ammo cache. Now in Arma 2, intel looked like a silver briefcase, but in Arma 3 it's been replaced by a simple rucksack. So you walk across it, pick it up, and you get intel. At least that's what I've been told. So we're gonna see for ourselves today. Contacts across the bridge. You got him? Now Insurgency, this version of Insurgency is scripted by, let's see. Yeah, as you can see,
Invincible.
Pokemon, and started out with a idea by Pokemon, then Fireball picked it up, and yeah, they've been working on it for quite some time. And after all, Insurgency was the game mode that kept me going for a large portion of the time during Arma 2. Now come back to Insurgency and Arma 3, it's kind of a joy. Like, you got better graphics, there's well, the graphics is a part of it, but that's not the main issue or main thing here. The good stuff is that, well, one of the good things are that you now can actually run with your weapon up. You move at a faster speed with your weapon up. You were not able to do that in Arma 2, that is. And the control system has been changed, but if you're feeling really old school and missing that, you can always go back to Arma 2 controls. Hey dude.
What's going on, Jag?
Not much. Just making my second, well, actually probably my first Arma 3 video, playing some Insurgency.
Oh,
nice.
Now when we're invincible.
Yeah, you know, I gotta shine where I can.
Oh, right now is it the test you're invisible or something?
Yeah. Yeah, is that a parameter or something?
It must be.
No idea.
Yeah, if it's Savage set this up, it must be a parameter for testing and debugging.
Well, Outlanders did die several times earlier.
There are ways to die when you're invincible to bullets. It's actually rather hard in Arma to become invincible. There's a lot of things that have to be covered, like 2 or 3 different commands.
Got a Ifrit coming in east.
Oh crap, you're not perfect right now.
Raj.
10-4.
Okay, we have Ifrit on the south side. Does he look like it's bugging out?
missed him.
Alright, we got Ifrit south and we got Ifrit east. Like, this is probably going to be a somewhat messy video due to the fact that, well, we're invincible. Trying to do that old trick with Arma, shoot out the tires and toss out WIP here. There we have some air support. As it has been with PG and it has been with the regular type Insurgency, if you hit 0, then 8, then you can go into a special menu which allows you to request both transport and CAS. Now this type of CAS is generally restricted to 2 minutes of flight time once you fire the first bullet. So you got 2 minutes to make the most of the CAS, and there's usually a 20 minutes timer for that, so you're not able to use it straight away after joining the game to avoid griefing or that sort. It also has to be accepted by your FDL, so if your FDL says no, then you're not getting it. But this basically means that if you have an FDL, he can always allow you or reject your requests for transport or CAS. So he has the final call. But what happens is basically that after you request it, the FDL gets a request. If he approves that request, you can click on the map and you'll get spawned in somewhere on the peripheral of where you clicked, coming in from the edges of the map, flying in. Where's our contacts? Do you actually have divers out in the sea?
I haven't seen any yet.
I got one on the map. Marking them now. Blue marker. Now, one feature that I especially enjoy about
I don't see anything here.
Arma 3, Raj, is that you now are able to swap between the different sites in a much easier manner than before. So while moving, I can hold right control or left control and hit my right mouse button, and it changes my sights. Well, I would not be walking away from that if this was not in debug mode. Some reason this store is bugged. I'm gonna try and glitch it. There we go. It's alpha bug that well, if you try and vaulting through a door, which won't open, then you basically can, for the most part. So it takes you through a few tries, but most of the doors are able to be vaulted through. But not everyone. It's not gonna work on that door. This must be how I do it. Because Arma in general has a thing about clipping. To hinder the AI from doing anything fancy, like getting stuck on rocks or something. They have allowed glitching of some sort for the AI, so they don't get stuck on stuff that, well, we wouldn't. But then you get funny occurrences for they actually get stuck inside of walls or similar stuff. Insurgency, well, this version of Insurgency has map markers, so once the enemy is spotted, you can easily, well, not easily always, but you can normally find the target that you're looking for just by checking a map. So as I said at the start, the basic idea of this game mode is to go through red squares, work as a team, clear the red squares, and hope that you get some intel that points you in the direction of a weapons cache. This weapons cache will, well, I haven't seen one in Arma 3 yet, but I'm guessing it will look like some kind of crate. And we have to use some kind of explosives or a whole lot of bullets to blow it up. Right now we have a 250 marker and 200 marker, which is kind of funny. Normally they go from 550, 450, 350, 250, 200, 150. So judging by this intel, it looks like it can't be anywhere further away than, well, don't they have the single dots? Yeah, there we go. So that's as far west as it can be, sort of, because there's no other buildings, so this general area is where they could be at. So we're gonna head over there. Well, normally I have truck IR, which allows me to move my head independently of where my mouse is pointing, or my weapon is pointing. It helps some in cramped spaces. You can simply toss your head and move about easier. Since that's not an option right here, just have to make do with holding Alt now and then when I'm crossing somewhere, just to have a peek over my shoulder. See if there's anything bad nearby. Now these shots I'm hearing, they sound to be fairly close. Well, that's an Ifrit. Enemy vehicle. No, that is actually radio speak. For some reason, they actually sound American. Well, I'm not sure why this put it in, but whenever they spot a hostile, they will call it out. And usually has a marker of some sort as well for it. Right now, there's a contact out there that I'm not able to see. But yeah, you see that there, top of my screen, there's a watch that signifies direction for the most part. And while I'm no big fan of it, because sometimes you get a call that you got one contact almost a million miles away, and you have no way of knowing if well, exactly where he's in, because you don't have a visual on him, but your character sort of does, and that gives you the marker. So as a realism thing, that sounds kind of off, but I guess you could say the same thing about Zoom. It's there to compensate for the situational awareness one would have in real life, or the field of view, or whatever you want to call it. I was hoping that was some kind of cache, but doesn't seem that way. What? Oh, maybe something just glitched into me there.
Oh, really? This fucking minigun can't hit anything.
Well, I would say that it couldn't from the start. But the ammo cache is like a orange or yellow box thingy.
It's green with a orange symbol on it.
Right. I just found a enemy weapon container, so I figured that was cache. While this was not the cache, we normally mark stuff like that if we have a suspicion that there might be a cache or something else. And especially in the case of when we're gonna get rid of it. It's vital that we actually mark the caches before we blow them up to avoid casualties. Now one can talk about priorities in terms of the action menu. Some people would say the N-Law is more important than the sidearm, but I see it differently. Well, for the simple fact that you can actually just go from moving forward to swapping sidearm as soon as the weapon's dry. You can swap straight over without any issues. This is a little bit of a hassle though, trying to get his AT weapons. Explosive charge. Yes, thank you. Raminus frags. Doesn't hurt, but it's really not needed. Alright, so it doesn't seem like I'm able to get his N-Law, or not N-Law, but RPG, whatever. So I'm just gonna stock up on explosives instead. We might. Whoa. Is that nice? What you very quickly learn is that the hostiles don't really care that much about doors. They're, well, completely happy with walking straight through a door that's closed. They don't really give a shit in regards to that. Seems like we have a visitor.
It seems to be spawning in the same location in this type of building.
Warehouse?
Should be marked on the map now.
No, it's not, but it's in the warehouse, right?
Yep.
Gotcha.
Should see it now.
Yeah, I do. You guys
Wanna
got
have a look at it?
explosives?
Or... Well,
Yeah,
I can
please.
Yep.
Come on. Contacts out right side. Alright, so we're having a look at the feeble weapons cache. Doesn't look very ominous. Explosives. Nothing fancy in the crate. Alright. That's also one way of doing it. There's so many explosions that can't even hear it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we didn't take any damage. As I said, this is still something of a bug test. Or bug testing, it's we're basically invisible for the most part.
Well, we only got 2 squares to clear left of this town.
Yeah, that should be easy.
Contact.
Trying to move a little bit about.
All clear.
Alright. Looks like kill farm.
RTB for rearm.
I got about 6 mags left, so I'm good, sorta. Is that everyone? I do hope they get rid of the sticky physics in terms of landing helicopters.
Just getting upward thrust as well, like climbing above these hills here. But come to a halt to get over them.
It's crazy.
Yeah, that's how choppers work.
Just for a ride. As you can see, the flight models still leave something to be desired. And what I was just talking about is the fact that when we land, the helicopters doesn't slide in for a halt. It's kind of just sticks to the ground like immediately. If you're going high speeds or slow speeds, doesn't really matter. You just get stuck to the ground. And it's a very quick acceleration. You can actually see the cache from here. Could have probably just popped the regular way, but I want to try it with a explosive charge. Second story of the unfinished building.
Well, hi guys.
That's one way of doing it.
Yeah, some Delta Force shit right there.
I'm not sure you would be approved for their officer scores. Airplane, plane.
Wonder if this will make me fly. Whee!
Look at the pretty colors. Thank you for watching. As you probably noticed, this is still not a complete version yet. And there will probably be a lot of changes moving forward. So once we actually have a stable version of Insurgency, I might actually make a complete tutorial for Arma 3 Insurgency. But since I already have a tutorial for Arma 2 Insurgency, might not make one, but we'll have to see. Depends on how much new stuff they add, and if it's if it's actually necessary, I'll do it. So yeah, hit me up with comments, feedbacks, whatever, and we'll take it from there. Take care until next time.